Hey guys, this is Dan from Light Reading. I'm here with Maistre. We are in Tel Aviv, Israel.
Woo.
And we're just wrapping up a week here of meetings and videos
And
eating. Right. So they call it the land of milk and honey, Ray, but I think for you it was the land of anything that you could put in your mouth.
The land of fresh herbs.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just unbelievable. The food here was fantastic.
Yeah.
Fruit and vegetables, you could actually taste fresh herbs in everything, and everywhere you looked it was hanging out the ceilings of restaurants. It was on the side plates of every single food. It was amazing.
So let's talk about some of the videos we did this week.
Yeah.
We met with Sedona Systems, and
Yeah.
what they have is a multi-layer control solution. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I mean, I've sort of been talking to Sedona for a couple of years. They've been active in the developing software that's going to help operators to get great visibility into their networks, especially once virtualization is brought into those networks. And they've really evolved quite a lot in the last couple of years to the point now where they are getting deployed in carrier networks, and they're starting to add applications to their platform around visibility, analytics, and so forth. It's a really good story, great company.
And then we paid a visit to Amdocs and we talked to them a little bit about artificial intelligence.
Absolutely. So I mean, AI, that's one of the big buzzwords of this year, but I feel that Amdocs is one of the companies that's actually taken it and is doing something real with AI and has something real to offer to the industry. And so they're starting off with a play basically focused on customer experience and marketing, with AI in the network coming later. But I think they've got a very good story. They're very clear about what they're doing, and I think that's helping to gain traction in the market.
So then let's talk a little bit about a company that we found out about that's been in the business now for over 30 years called Logtales.
Yeah.
So it's a company that actually trains engineers on emerging technologies.
That's right.
And we visited with the CEO, so maybe we could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we met with Jacques. He's been here for more than 30 years, trained more than 500,000 engineers around the world.
Yeah.
He came from France to Israel to see if he could introduce the Minitel system from France here. That didn't quite work out, but he's developed a business here. And one of the things he's helping to train people on at the moment is around IoT. Now, as Jacques says, IoT means everything and nothing, but he's helping it to actually mean something by focusing on how IoT capabilities can be developed into essentially solutions that are applicable and real to specific vertical instances. So developing real use cases for IoT technologies and capabilities. Really interesting.
Yeah, and I mean that's eventually going to drive the businesses that are going to keep that technology moving forward.
Absolutely.
Great.
Yeah.
And we're here right now, we're wrapping up our day. We just came to AT&T where we talked to the head of their R&D center here in Israel.
Yeah.
Huge, so almost 600 people working here, software developers. So what did you find interesting about that?
Just about everything. They are working on some of the hottest areas of development in this industry. Obviously, they're part of AT&T, but of course, AT&T has a lot of things going on that the rest of the industry is looking at. So the guys here are the men and women developing here are contributing not only to the eComp Mano platform that's underpinning a lot of the virtualization work that AT&T is doing, but also then feeding that into the open source version of eComp as well. But they're also working as well and have been developing part of the customer interface around the DirecTV Now that AT&T has as well. And then they're doing work around IoT and cybersecurity, general networking, loads of really cool stuff. And we're talking to Nir, the CEO, and I said to him, you must have an absolutely fantastic job, so much innovation going on around behind you, all around you. And he said some days he doesn't really know where to start first to find out what's going on in his company. Really fascinating stuff.
The last time we were in Israel, we visited a lot. And we went back to them this year.
Yeah.
And they're doing some really interesting stuff around security.
Yes, IoT security.
IoT security. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about
Yeah,
that.
that's a really hot area. Obviously, there's a lot of concerns, a lot of new connected things to the network. That creates the potential for a lot more cybersecurity threats. A lot have been doing some really cool stuff in developing tools that are able to identify threats, but also prevent and then deal after an IoT security attack has happened, to deal with the aftermath of that and help to clean it up. So IoT security, but also they're doing some really interesting things around revenue assurance. which is built around, a lot is really known for their deep packet inspection, DPI capabilities. So they're developing some really cool revenue assurance applications around that. And also in the area, everything is as a service these days. I'm Ray as a service, as we all know. But they've had security as a service as something available for now, but now they have a lot as a service, which is a really cool concept, because the first thing, if you hear we've got a lot as a service available in the cloud, the first thing you want to know is, what does that mean? What's in it? And immediately you want to know all of the things that company is doing. So it's very clever, but also, of course, it's really innovative to be putting all of their applications into the public cloud and allowing their customers and their partners to take advantage of that.
We ended our tour of Israel here with a company called Eternity Networks. Can you tell us a little bit about what they do?
Yeah, so they've been developing component technology for some years now. They've developed this into a NIC, a network interface card, that can be particularly used in networks where virtualization is being introduced, and it's aimed at speeding up the processes, so making things more efficient, but also increasing security in those networks. And it's all about efficiency, lower power, greater speed, and being able to deal with the vast amounts of data that are starting to flow across networks already, but the volume of that data is going to increase exponentially in the coming years. And these guys have a great track record in the industry and are developing these very important network components that are going to help to make networks more efficient and help to make NFV a reality.
This is your second time in Israel, but this time you actually got a chance to see Jerusalem.
Absolutely, yes. So we were very lucky enough. We had a meeting with ECI Telecom, and they were very gracious in pointing us in the right direction for the small amount of time we had to visit the old town in Jerusalem. And it was just an incredible experience. The things we saw, the people we met, and I would encourage anybody who ever comes to Israel, take some time. It wasn't really on my roadmap, but I'm so glad we did it, to spend some time in the old city, because it's an amazing experience.
It's one of a kind. Well, Ray, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
End of a great trip, and I think that our audience will be really interested to see some of the other videos we shot while we were here.
Absolutely, and we look forward to shooting some more next year when we come back and meet, because the company's here doing great stuff.
Excellent. Thanks, Ray. Thank you.